Have you been diagnosed with IBS and you are really confused, you don't know what to eat? Well, here are my list of foods to avoid for IBS. So first on the list is the inflammatory fats. These are called the PUFAs, the polyunsaturated fatty acids. It's corn oil, canola oil, vegetable oil. They're very inflammatory for the body and for the gut. So this is something that you definitely want to avoid if you've been diagnosed with IBS. Now, grains are also on my list of foods to avoid for IBS, especially anything with gluten. This is really compromising to the tight junctions and the health of your gut lining and usually needs to be avoided, especially in the beginning stages of IBS when you are working on healing the gut. And if you don't know how to do that, I've got other videos, so make sure that you check them out. Number 3 on the list is processed foods. These things should be avoided in general, but especially if you do have IBS because, of course, the additives, the preservatives, the extra non-food or pseudo-food ingredients in processed foods are very harsh on your system and difficult to digest. And now your body has to detoxify these non-foods as well. So that's another aspect of being a food to avoid for IBS. And grain-fed meats, as well as non-pasture-raised chickens and hens and eggs, because of course it has to do with the health of the animal that you're eating, and what that animal is eating makes that difference. So grass-fed is always better whenever you can, and hens that are pasture raised and able to roam around as they wish. Now, what about the low FODMAP diet? This is something that doesn't always work for everyone, but it often is prescribed for people who do have IBS. And what FODMAP stands for is fermentable oligo diamonosaccharides and polyols. So fermentable oligosaccharides include things like fructans and galacto-oligosaccharides. These are often found in wheat products, rye, onions, and certain fruits and vegetables. Now, disaccharides, the most common one is probably lactose, which is found in dairy products, can be problematic for people with IBS. Monosaccharides, and fructose is especially high in the tropical fruits, so things like mangoes, as well as, unfortunately, agave and honey are very high in fructose, so often need to be avoided if that's what you've been prescribed for your IBS with the low FODMAP diet. And polyols, so these are the sugar alcohols, so things like sorbitol, mannitol, xylitol, isomalt, and most processed sweeteners will be problematic, cause a lot of gas and bloating if you are sensitive and you do have IBS, so it usually should be avoided in general. So today I reviewed the foods to avoid for IBS. I hope that this helps you out. Make sure you share this with somebody. And for more tips on how to improve IBS, check out my video, 9 Tips for IBS. I'll see you there.